It's a beautiful morning here, Eastern Oklahoma. I didn't get much sleep last night. I don't know. Anymore, I can't hardly sleep. My body needs about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and I'm good to go. So, I want to get into the internet, AI, that sort of stuff. I grew up in Bakersfield, California. Uh, we left when I was in my eighth grade, and we moved out here to Eastern Oklahoma, Western Arkansas, right on the state line. And when I was in California, I think the seventh grade, we got our first look at computers. They started coming in. And these computers, and I know some of you remember, the monitors were these big, huge, square box-looking things. They started bringing them into the classroom. I believe my science class got them first. I had no idea what to think about them. They kept saying this is the future. They plugged them in. Really, no one, even the teacher, didn't know how to use them. And we plugged them in and we played around on it. The teacher tried to act like he knew what he was talking about, but I think he just reading whatever the book they gave him, because he was clueless too. So I couldn't see that being the future at the time. I just really didn't want no part of it. And then that following weekend, they put them in the rest of the classroom. So every classroom had these computers in there. They were all up against the wall, and they would go in groups. They would take two or three of us at a time, maybe four at a time actually, sit on the computers, and we'd have 15, 20 minutes, and then the other half of the class, the next four of us would go, and we would do this. And these programs that they put on there was, I think, was random ROM and random access. Uh, there's a little program where you could type all this in the computer, and then it would make this little rocket launch and then land. That was, if you could do that, then you passed that little computer course. I just couldn't at the time couldn't see that being the future. So as it progressed, I want to say in eighth grade, I moved from Bakersfield to Eastern Oklahoma. When I got out to went to school in Arkansas, they didn't really they were way behind on that. I think they had the computer in the library. The new computers were in the library, not in the classroom yet. So if you had a study hall, which was a requirement in Arkansas, you had a study hall class, you could go to the library and play on the computer. So wasn't any curriculum with that. So I kind of went in there and played on a little bit. Had no idea, just couldn't see the point in it. Um, I like typing class. I started that. There's a plane flying over. Of course there is, but we started typing class. I want to say I started it eighth grade when I first moved out to Arkansas, and they had the old style typewriters where you struck it and hit the key with the little ribbon. Mid-year of that, they took those out and they brought in these more modern typewriters, which they were still typewriters. It just had the keyboard look to it, and that was the new style typewriter they were going with. So over in the corner, this is in Arkansas, they had all these old typewriters that they were getting rid of. So I learned how to type on that. Um, I thought that was one of the coolest things. But as time progressed, I just stayed away from computers. It just wasn't my thing. I wish I wouldn't have. I didn't realize that that was the future, and you couldn't get away from it everywhere. As you start to work in life, you get to where you have to use a computer to clock yourself in or out. You had to use the computer to check your hours that you worked, um, and it started becoming implemented more and more into everything that we do. And I'm a Generation X, so I just in between. We didn't have internet growing up, so all this is coming down the pipeline. Um, my kids, they when they were born, they were born into that, so that they could just go in there and find anything I want. If I needed help with anything, they could pretty much do it. And then that old saying, if it's on the internet, it must be true. Every time that I would say something, my kids would be real quick to look it up, and they would find out if I knew what I was talking about or not. So and sometimes I didn't know what I was talking about. I would just run my mouth, and they would catch me on it. Now recently, since they added AI into it, you can't believe anything on the internet. You really can't. So what made me think about doing this video, I was playing on my phone and it said a new species of fish was found in the ocean, deep ocean. And it's showing pictures of this thing, and it's got these huge mouth, razor sharp teeth, body looks like a dragon, and it's swimming. And I mean, it looked real. And on the very bottom, it says created by AI. And more on the internet, as you see these photographs, they're just created by AI. So you know that old saying, a picture's worth, 1,000 words. Not anymore. It's completely changed with AI. I don't know if that's for the better or not. You'll see a lot of pictures of the Iran war that's going on right now. You'll see downed aircraft created by AI. It's not real. And then on top of that, you've got the media that they just absolutely hate Trump. So nothing the man says they agree with. It doesn't matter. CNN, ABC, NBC, they're all like the Democratic network. So if you're a Democrat, those are the networks that you watch. If you're a Republican, it's generally the Fox News and I think maybe TMC or something. There's a couple. But so the media is biased. You really can't go one way or another. Now, when it comes to politics, I don't usually get into politics too much. Nothing changes for me but the price of gas, really. So when I vote either way. If I think a Democrat's going to be good for our country, I'll vote Democrat. If I think it's Republican, I'll go Republican. I'm all over the place with that. So you'll see photos. They had one AI created where they had Trump in the hospital saying that he's sick and he's been flown. If people, the older generation, my generation, don't realize that this stuff is just created by AI, you actually kind of believe it. So it's hard to believe anything. And because of this, I question history altogether. I really do. If you watch some of the documentaries when they talk about Hitler, how Hitler, in some cases, they think was a great man. They said that when he imprisoned these people, it's because they had, I can't remember what it was, a disease, and he kept everybody separated. That it wasn't gas chamber, and then history showing that I've always been told that was the case. So, man, I don't know what to believe anymore. I really don't. Kind of lost with it, and AI is not helping. And if you don't realize it, people are being misled. Um, it's really a crazy thing. You can't believe any of the pictures now. You can't. I don't even too sure about video. They showed this sea monster I was just talking about swimming in the ocean. It looked real, created by AI. Every other thing on your phone that you search through is an AI generated picture. So it's all make believe. And the reality of the world we live in is just, I don't know. It's questionable now. You can't believe the news. Trump called it fake news. It is fake news. Now, there are probably some truths here or there. I can tell you right now, I'm completely done watching CNN. That's the first news channel growing up that I always went to. Something was happening, I'd flip on CNN News or I'd flip on ABC. Now that I've gotten older and I've stepped back and I've looked at all that, they have their own agenda that they're driving in. So if they want you to believe a certain way, that's the agenda that they're pushing. And that goes both ways. I'm not saying one party or another. It's going both ways. The media is completely you can't get anything straightforward anymore. It's hard to. Bill O'Reilly, I think, is one that I watched is straightforward. Man, I don't even know what to think. I don't. When I turn on the news, I don't want anything biased. I just want it the way it is. But now with AI involved, man, it's just hard to believe anything you see. Even some of the background pictures that you'll see, the scenery that is online is fake. They've got pictures of Bigfoot walking around now that's completely fake, that look real. So I don't know. Computers have were good at a point, and I think they're going the other way. I really do. Like when they started putting computers into our vehicles, I don't know if that helped or hurt things. I really don't. Before, when you stepped on your gas pedal, you had a throttle linkage that went from your gas pedal to your carburetor. And when you stepped on it, it fluctuated the carburetor. The modern cars now, when you step on the gas, it's computer operated. There's a sensor, a wire telling your controls to work. Uh, Same thing. I had an old Challenger, uh, the 2016 Challenger, and the power steering pump had went out. And when I popped the hood to change the power steering pump, because that should have been a simple thing, it wasn't there. And come to find out, the pump was on the passenger side underneath the fender well, and the computer controls this power steering pump. And that just blew me away. The whole system's completely changed and different. For the better, I don't know. I don't think so. When that system went out, it was an $800 computer that I had to buy to fix that. Versus an old school water pump with 30 or power steering pump costing under $100. But man, I don't know what to think anymore. But I stayed away from computers. I kind of wish I would have got more involved with them, because as times changed, I mean, you got to be right there. And I'm sure with AI coming, we've all got to get on board with that too. But as far as if it's on the internet, it must be true. Not anymore. It's not. That you've really got to do your research and make sure that there's not some kind of AI involved. So, with AI being said, China can get right in there and they can do their thing. Russia can do their thing. They can manipulate the system. They can take any of your beliefs and start twisting them around. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now as a society. But anyway, so moving, from California to Arkansas with school, they're out here out east there. They're just back. They were way back, and they might still be actually, away from that. But kind of miss the old days, really. Um, I don't I don't have to carry my phone around. I don't do it. Even making these videos, my wife has to do a lot of the computer stuff because I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to run my mouth, but as far as electronic stuff goes, I'm not real good with it. So I'm learning though. At my age, I'm still learning. But yeah, it's something to think about. Don't believe everything you see on TV anymore. So now you can believe my videos. I'll be straight with you, one way or another. But anyway, thanks for listening to me run my mouth. I thought I'd make a video of you can't believe it. It's on the internet. It may not be true now. So thanks for your time.